Hello, dear learners. Welcome to the channel Winpipe School. You are with Vijay Lakshmi. In the last video, I had told you about distance and displacement. Now, in this video, we are going to learn about speed, definition, and different types of speed, and even sums related to it. So, let's not waste time and start learning about speed. Can you differentiate between two identical objects traveling at same speed or different speed? Well, one can differentiate when one can feel that one of the object is moving faster than the other one. If we take time as the factor, if both the objects are moving in the same time, the faster one will have greater speed, whereas the slower one will have lesser speed. So now we can say in other way around that one of the object is traveling sooner than the other. Or we can either say that farther the object is, that means greater the distance, and sooner the object, or you can say sooner the speed, that means lesser the time. Now in this chapter, we are going to study about the definition of speed and different types of speed, and I will be giving you some real life problems, and I will be solving it for you so that it will be easier for you to solve it from your school textbook, and at the end we will reprise on whatever we have studied and we will close. Now, as per the definition of speed, it says that the rate of change of distance covered with time is called as the speed of the body. Now, what does it mean? That means the speed at which the body is moving. That means that the rate of change of distances, whatever distance the body is covering, its change in the distance with respect to time gives us the speed of the body. That means if I double the speed, doubling the speed means I am doubling one's distance at a given amount of time. Or at the same time, I also mean that I am halving the time, right? I hope you have understood what I said. I am repeating again. Doubling the speed means I am doubling one's travel distance. And at the same time, I also mean that I am halving the time required to travel at a given time interval. So that means if I symbolically represent speed, I would get as the distance traveled by the body in 1 second can be represented as the speed is nothing but distance by time. Or we can represent it as V is equal to S by T. Now the unit of speed in SI system is meter per second, and in CGS system it is centimeter per second. Now since this is purely you can say it's a purely magnitude, so we would represent speed, or speed is nothing but a scalar quantity. There is a short way to remember. How can I remember the formula of speed? Now I can say that speed is equal to distance by time, or you can say distance upon time. Now sometimes it becomes this triangle comes handy when you don't remember how to calculate distance. Suppose you are being asked to calculate the distance or find the distance with a given time and given speed. So in that case, you hide this distance and see speed and time are both on the same line. So it is multiplied, or it's just the product, S into T. How to find D? That is S into T. Suppose you are asked to find T, you close the portion of T, and you would find that D is over S. That means time is calculated as D by S. So like on. So I hope this one will come handy when we find out the distance and relationship between distance, time, and speed. Now let's proceed. Now here comes your first sum that we are going to solve. Calculate the speed of the car that travels 200 kilometers in 4 hours. Now, what is given? The data that is given from the question is distance is 200 kilometers, time is 4 hours. Now, what is the time required? Or you can say calculate the speed. How can we calculate? Using the relationship, that is speed is equal to distance by time. We get V is equal to S by T. So we can write it as 200 by 4, which is nothing but 50 kilometer per hour. Now, the main aspect that a teacher demands or an examiner demands from a student is, whenever a story sum is given or you are being asked to solve this real life situation sums or situational sums, first of all, you have to see what has been given. So we write it, what has been given, what data has been given to us along with its unit. Don't forget to write the units. And then we can proceed using the formula. Formula is also very important. If you write it, you will get a couple of marks, and then proceed on with substituting the value and then ultimately getting the answer. I hope this sum has been useful and you've been able to understand it. Now let's discuss about the different types of speed. We have average speed, uniform speed, instantaneous speed, and variable speed. Now, these are different situations where the speed changes, or you can say the different definitions of speed here in different types. Now, first of all, I will be telling you about the average speed. Now, average speed is the ratio of the total distance traveled by the body and the total time taken to complete the journey. I'll be telling you. The situation is the speed of the car that is traveling 200 kilometers in 4 hours. Now, this situation is ideal situation, we would say, when a car is traveling without any hindrance. Now, this journey can be called as hypothetical journey because we would never get roads where the traffic is always constant and they are each and every vehicle is traveling at a constant speed, you can say. Okay, so this would become an ideal journey. Now I'll tell you about average speed. Here, suppose we have destination X and Y, and a boy is traveling from destination X towards destination Y at a speed of S1 kilometer per hour and returns at a speed of S2 kilometer per hour. Now you have to tell me what will be the average speed. Will it be this one? According to the definition, total speed by time taken, or it will be this one, like average speed is equal to 2S1 S2 by S1 plus S2. Actual answer is this, not this. This is not the correct answer. Now, why? If you want to know, you write to me. I will make a special video on how we have got this one. Some of you can solve it. You please solve it, because I would give you an hint that you would derive it, or you can solve it using your formula of speed, that is distance by time. Do it. Now let's move on to the first question, that is, a cyclist cover first 30 kilometers in 2 hours and 15 kilometers in next hour. Find the average speed of the cyclist. Now for this type of sums, what we are going to do according to the definition of average speed, we have to calculate it as total distance by total time taken. Now in that case, let us do what is given here. Given is, we have got distance D1 is 30 kilometer and distance D2 is 15 kilometer. And time T1, that is 2 hours, and time T2 is next hour, that means 1 hour. Okay, so average speed is equal to total distance by total time. So here in this case, total distance will be D1 plus D2, that is 30 plus 15, by total time will be 2 plus 1. So 30 plus 15 is 45 by 3. So we get as 15 kilometer per hour. So this is the average speed covered by the cyclist. Okay, so this is our answer. So this is how we are going to solve the average speed sums whenever we come across it in the book or question papers. Whereas come to the question that I have given in sum number 2. Now it takes 11 seconds for an object to travel along half circumference of a circular path. Find the average speed. Now average speed, we know average speed is equal to distance by time. Now what is given in the sum? Here we have time is given, that is time is given as 11 seconds. As I always say that whatever is given you should write it. Time is 11 seconds given, and half the circumference is given. Diameter is given as diameter is equal to 14 meter. Now we know that circumference of a circle is pi into d, isn't it? So let me solve it here separately. Circumference, for those who can't understand, circumference is pi d, that is 22 by 7 into the diameter. What is the diameter given here? That is 14 meter. We can directly write it like this, that 22 into 2, that is 44 meter is the circumference. But there is a twist in the question, because it is telling that an object is traveling half of the circumference. That means that this object is traveling half of this one. It's completing a semicircular path, isn't it? So for that, if it is half of the circumference, then the distance covered by the object will be circumference half, isn't it? So it will be 44 by 2 meter, that is 22 meter, isn't it? Now here we have got the distance, we have the time. Now can't we find the speed? So average speed is the distance by total time taken. So total time is distance is 22 and total time taken is 11 seconds. So our answer will be 2 meter per second. So I hope you have got the sum here. You have understood the question, and here is the solution of it. This will be helpful. It's a bit tricky sum. That's why I have brought for you. It will be easier for you to understand whenever you get it in your school books. The next type of speed, that is uniform speed. Uniform speed is when a body covers equal distance in equal interval of time, the motion is said to have uniform speed. That means here we can say that a body is covering equal distances in equal time interval. Example, sometimes we have the motion of a ball over frictionless surface. Then we have the motion of earth around the sun, movement of fan, a car traveling along a straight level road at constant speed. They are all examples of uniform speed. Now I'll explain uniform speed with an example. Now suppose we have a bus. Now this bus covers 10 kilometers in say 1 hour. It's covering 10 kilometers in 1 hour. Again, the next 10 kilometers is covered in another 1 hour. Subsequently, it's covering 10 kilometers in 1 hour. That is in a time interval of 1 hour each. So here we can say that this example clearly satisfies uniform speed, because it says that it is covering equal distances in equal interval of time throughout its motion. So that's uniform speed. Now we know that speed is equal to distance by time. If the body moves at uniform speed, then the distance traveled at given time can be calculated as d is equal to speed into time. Now, non-uniform or variable speed. Now, if a body covers unequal distances in equal intervals of time, then the motion is non-uniform. You can just remember this part, that unequal distances in equal intervals. Equal intervals of time. That means time gap is same, whereas the distance covered is not same. Like for some half, it's moving 5 kilometers. Then again, the vehicle is going 10 kilometers. Again, in the next hour, it's going to be 5 kilometers, and that way. So there the speed is varying because of the distance. The change in distance is not equal. So these type of motions are called as non-uniform motion. So we can have example like motion of a car in crowded street, ball rolling over rough surface, motion of vehicles approaching or leaving the destination. Like whenever a car gives a start, the speed is less, then it gradually increases. Similarly, while a car is, you can say when the car is coming to a halt, it's immediately not coming to an halt. It takes time, and gradually the speed decreases. So in this case, the speed becomes variable. Now, when the bodies are moving with non-uniform speed, we mention their instantaneous and average speed. Whenever there is non-uniform speed mentioned, actually the best way to mention is the instantaneous speed or the average speed. Now let's read about instantaneous speed. Instantaneous speed means the speed is a variable. When the speed is variable, it is measured at any instant of time, or the speed measured at a particular instant of time is called as instantaneous. So instantaneous speed can be represented as distance traveled in a short time interval by time interval. Okay. Now, whatever distance is traveled in that particular short time interval divided by the that particular time interval gives us the instantaneous speed. Now I will show you how it is. In order to find the instantaneous speed, let us take an example of this graph. Now this graph shows a curve of a vehicle, suppose having instantaneous speed. Now here we have a distance time axis. Now suppose you are asked to find the speed at this particular instance. So how we are going to calculate it? For that, what we have to do is we have to find the tangent of this point. Tangent at this point will give us the particular position of this point here. Now here we get x1, x2, t1 and t2. Now the slope of this line tells us about the instantaneous speed at that particular point. So x2 minus x1 by t2 minus t1 tells us the speed of that particular point. Again, there is a homework question for you. If a vehicle covers 10 km at a speed of 30 km per hour and next 10 km at a speed of 60 km per hour, calculate the average speed of the car. Now, before we end, let's reprise on what we have studied. Here is what we have learned. The rate of change of distance covered with time is called as the speed of the body. The average speed, uniform speed, instantaneous speed, and variable speed are different types of speed. And lastly, we have gone through different situational sums and we have solved it. So I hope you are confident enough to deal with any sort of speed you come across, and join me in the next video to learn about velocity.